This episode of Capes and Lunatics is brought to you by Tweaked Audio. Get awesome headphones, go to tweakedaudio.com and use the coupon code Southgate to get 30% off, free shipping, and a lifetime warranty. Or you can get there through the link on our website, southgatemediagroup.com.
This is Luca Perich, and you're listening to the Capes and Lunatics podcast.
Recording has started. Hey kids, welcome once again to Super Connectivity. I'm your host, Charlie the Professor Esser. And with me as always is the blue-eyed mama from the Burger Bits.
Phil Perich.
Welcome, Philip. Oh, man. So guess what, Philip?
What?
You know, all that stuff that they announced at that big Disney, here's all the things coming to Disney Plus.
Mm-hmm.
They forgot one. Did you see The Mandalorian, Philip?
Oh, this season 2 finale? You betcha I did.
I think that's the series finale.
Oh, yeah, that's the thing. I don't know if they announced either way. I mean, I know, again, there's a spin-off coming, but have they announced either way that this was only the last season or there's...
Well, what they have said, what they have said is the actor who plays Arjun, the Mandalorian,
Pedro
would love to show up in all of the other Star Wars properties that are all taking place in this time period, which I also find fascinating. They've decided that, you know, we're not even really going to talk that much about what happens post-Rey. We're actually going to just do a lot of lore right here in the meaty part between Strikes Back, or sorry, between
Return of the Jedi
and The Force Awakens.
Unless they're saving, all that for the movies, and they're like, oh yeah, you guys can play in between the rest of them, but don't go past episode 9, maybe.
That's an entirely possibility because they have they know what the canon is.
Yeah.
For episode 7.
Yeah.
Just don't have anything that would be contradicted by anything that was said in episode 7, 8, 9.
Yeah. I'm just wondering if there's, maybe that's why they keep playing with the past, is because maybe they're saving that, post episode 9 for the movies.
Yeah, but it is pretty cool what we got here.
But I was thinking, I wonder if is this the final season, or maybe they'll take like a little hiatus and come, skip like a year or two and come back. But I wonder if part of that is, I wonder if they're going to offer Pedro Pascal like a Marvel role or something.
They could do any number of things. As we see, Marvel is just, stacking knots unstoppably, like the epic rap battle says.
We got Ming-Na, who's Agent May, and now she has a role in Star Wars, and
she is clearly going to be part of. Okay, spoilers if you haven't seen Mando yet. The last episode of The Mandalorian for the season, if you haven't seen it yet, go forward.
It should be safe. It's after 8:00 that night. I was seeing spoiler reviews on all over the internet, like at 11:00.
Oh yeah. But it's just polite to say, hey, just so you know, this is a spoiler. And that's the thing is so clearly, Ming-Na's back as Boba Fett's right hand, as Boba decides he's going to take over Jabba's old palace.
Yeah, it takes literally takes the throne.
And you know what's interesting about that? Because here's the thing that strikes me as weird is I literally read this story somewhere. I think this is one of the legends that one of the stories where he comes back is that guy with the snake head, that after Jabba gets toppled, he sort of puts himself in charge and starts running the head empire, and that Boba comes back and kills him. I know I read that somewhere as one of the non-canonical legends.
Maybe someone liked it.
Well, yeah. Well, clearly Jon Favreau liked it, what you can say is Jon Favreau likes his Star Wars lore.
Well, I was going to say, is he doing the Boba Fett series? I was going to say, unless that's whoever's doing the Boba Fett series.
Well, it doesn't necessarily matter who does it. What matters is that that's what's coming up, and that we're going to finally get this book of Boba Fett. And it really seems like that's going to be what they air next season.
Well, they said December 2021 is when it's coming. Yeah,
exactly. Which is usually Mando's time slot. So we're going to get the Book of Boba Fett, and then I'm sure we're going to get the Mandalorian in that too.
Yeah. I mean, COVID might have pushed back filming, because I think it doesn't. We get 8 weeks. So I mean, it usually starts October, November. But I mean, we're gonna have so much. Probably just we got so much Marvel packed in 2021. They're just like, yeah, give them the end of the year.
Yeah, but you think about just the idea that this is something that they have kept secret. Because nobody was talking about, oh yeah, there's going to be a new Boba Fett series. Nobody was talking about that.
Well, I thought earlier this season people were saying that there's, I don't know if it was definite or if there was like the rumor that they were going to spin off Boba Fett.
I didn't hear that rumor.
Okay.
All I heard was, I heard that. I mean, I remember after the cameo appearance, people still not knowing if that was going to be all we got of Boba Fett. Honestly, and then getting Ming-Na back, it's. As I said to other people, Ming, they didn't bring in Ming-Na just for a cameo.
Yeah, no.
This is Disney Marvel royalty here. She's getting a show. She may be driving the bus for Boba, but it's still that is where she's at, and I do appreciate that.
I was gonna say, she's going to be on that series. Hopefully, we see Agent May somewhere in the MCU.
Well, I hope so. Well, that's always the thing, is I do get the sense that there, I think that people talk about the bad blood. It's like sometimes I will give that some actors get bad blood. I highly doubt Ming-Na is one of them.
I mean, she's on the Disney payroll. She's still on the payroll, so I don't
exactly. I think all of these people are still well beloved and are going to be there. Now, the big interesting thing is if they want to get Clark Gregg over to if Warner's is going to try to poach Clark Gregg to put him into the Veep story, tying it into New Adventures of Old Christine, which I believe was actually a CBS property. So who knows where it goes next? But it's possibly an interesting story. But I really like the way they tied it up. I love, Pedro Pascal's total, I'm going to step away from what I said that being a Mandalorian was. I've come to understand, being a Mandalorian is more than all these other things. And it's interesting that they also leave it kind of an open question about what happens with this Darksaber.
Yeah, I was going to say, is he the king of Mandalore now?
Well, what's funny is that Boba, at least in some stories, was.
Mm-hmm.
That Boba became the king of Mandalore. And again, because of this Darksaber and this whole idea that you have to take the Darksaber. He's in a Republic jail cell now. Yeah, You mean the Dark Troopers?
No, not the Dark Troopers. I meant he said he was making clone troopers.
Well, I'm sure that goes to somewhere else. No, that was probably to help create the clone of Palpatine to up his force levels or something. Yeah, Snoke. There's something going on there. Who knows? All we know is that it doesn't directly conflict with what we've seen so far. So,
there was that whole bar fight scene. It's like, when talking about his father. Oh, you mean your donor?
Yeah,
I've heard your voice 1,000 times.
I know, but also just Mandalorian's so racist. Sorry, Katie Sackhoff, but your princess. Oh, by the way, I do love the whole princess line because it is, and again, just that whole rhyming quality of Favreau. It's like, how Han Solo would call Princess Leia princess? We're going to have Boba Fett do this. Which raises that question, is there going to be something between them later? I don't know. There's lots of things that are put here. Maybe Pedro Pascal character is going to go with. It's interesting because it is this idea that she has to take it from. It's a weird concept for Mando here because it's like he has no interest in the Darksaber.
I know, because when Moff Gideon's like, "Oh yeah, she has to take it from you in combat." Oh, I yield here. Take it. No, it doesn't work that way.
Yeah, it doesn't. Which is like, but it also goes to show that even the reformed Mandalorians are still hung up on process and procedure, which is why I think when he takes off his helmet to speak with Grogu at the end is so beautiful, because it is him saying, "I know what being a Mandalorian is about. It's about protecting. It's about being a bat dad and." Just adopting random children off the street to teach them to be warriors.
Yeah, I think it was just, the child Grogu was reaching for his face. He just wanted to see his face.
Well, and he just wanted, but it was also just the fact that he is violating what he once thought was so sacred.
Yep.
Because he knows that all of that stuff isn't what being a Mandalorian is about. That the way is about learning the path for itself, not the laws and customs that we obsess about.
Mm-hmm.
That if it's as I always say, if it pains you, or if it makes you do something that does not make you feel good to follow this law, then probably that law is not the way the law is meant to be interpreted.
Mm-hmm.
And so I do like what they did with that. It was beautiful. It's just a perfect Star Wars story, and we're gonna get like 10 more.
And who did the child go with in the end, Charlie Esser?
Luke Skywalker.
Hey, they gave Mark Hamill that Robert Downey Jr. treatment.
they have that now, so they can just do that. They did. That's the thing, is they have it for. They had it for Robert Downey Jr. They had it for Michael Douglas. They're just...
Well, yeah, because like when he lands and he just starts, he's all in the hood and he's, going through all the dark troopers. I'm thinking, are they going to do the age thing? I'm like, they could. I'm like, they have at least 3 movies of him as Luke Skywalker.
Exactly. Well, they have got, you can get Mark Hamill visages out there. It's out there. His face has probably been scanned so many times for various other projects that it's like, he's very easy to recreate.
And the voice too, I think.
Yeah, well, he actually did a series of video games too.
Oh yeah,
where he did live cutscenes in video games. So yeah, he's digitally out there, and they used all that to create this, and it was great. And to be honest with you, probably Mark Hamill, just did the voiceover.
Because they probably just slapped his image on somebody. Yeah.
That's probably a trained swordsman that went in there, did the body work. They did this face swap, and
whoever. Yeah, when the hood's on, that's not him. But once he takes the hood off, because they just credited Mark Hamill. So
yeah. Well, because it is Mark Hamill as himself. So, and I'm sure he did the voice, and I'm sure he did even the facial movements.
Oh yeah.
That's how they do that. Is they track where the face is, and then they put the face on there. And as Tristan had said, this is what people wanted, not a space hobo, but an actual Jedi Knight.
Well, and again, it's right after Return of the Jedi, so they can look like that.
But you know what's important about this? It means Grogu would not have been attacked by Ben. Grogu would have graduated the program.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's going to be about 20 years before Ben winds up at that school and gets tempted to the dark side. So Grogu will have already moved beyond that.
So if we get episode 10 or whatever the next movie is, could we get a teenage Yoda?
Well, he's going to be like 80.
Yeah.
Which is actually he's going to be in his 20s.
I was going to say preteen Yoda?
No, like a 20-year-old Yoda. It's like not really a preteen Yoda, because that's the thing, is like when you say about how Yoda ages. Baby Yoda aged a lot in this. I'm a little disappointed they didn't have him say a word.
Yeah.
Before he left. I guess they maybe felt that would have been too too much of a cherry on top. You know, it had been too perfect. So, you know, which gets you into that, you know, as everyone always wants to pick on that scene where all of the women of the Marvel Universe get together in that one Endgame scene. You know, and although this one I thought did it well because this was a very organic, it's just all women fighters in this scene.
Well, I mean,
And
that's mostly who we got this season.
well, exactly. Well, you know, but it was well done. I liked so much about the end of it, and I'm excited to see what they do next. I'm excited to see all these other Disney Star Wars stories. Because clearly Disney has realized, okay, so everyone's paying us this amount of money every week or every month, you know, and we just got to keep on giving them decent content, and we can space it out, you know.
I mean, that was the plan. It's just COVID wrecked the plan this year.
Yeah, and you know, in January we're gonna get WandaVision, and
a little under a month because I think it's January 15th. Yeah.
January 15th, 5 days before my birthday. So we'll actually so this one ends, and within a month, we're going to get the next big thing. So everyone can go binge watch this. We can go rewatch our favorite Marvel movies, you know, get ourselves geared up.
Did you see, I guess, well, we all know Wonder Woman 1984 is coming on Christmas Day. Do you see what Disney Plus is putting out on Christmas Day?
I know it's one thing.
Well, I know the one thing I saw is a behind the scenes special on season 2 of The Mandalorian, I think.
Yeah. There's a couple Christmas Day drops, but do you know what Tristan and I are watching?
What?
There is a show, and I'm forgetting the name of it right now, but on Tubi, there is a cartoon animated show about henchmen.
Oh.
So we're very excited about it. Just, do you remember what that show was called?
I don't know. Can I tell them something?
Did you say it's animated?
What do you want to tell us, Tristan? Got to get close to the mic, though.
Well, you said that show's animated?
Yeah.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. You can hear you.
Did you know that apparently it's canon that Princess Leia actually stopped the Ewoks from eating stormtroopers?
I did not know that.
He did not know that.
Yeah, it's apparently canon.
Yes, it is canon. But yeah, so let me see if I can find it really quick here. Tubi Henchman movie.
Well, you looked that up. I'm thinking that behind the scenes Mandalorian special, they'll probably go all into that. Oh, this is what we did to Mark Hamill, you know, to make him look like 1984 Mark Hamill.
Oh, it's actually called Henchman. So there we go. So that was easy.
Oh.
Yeah, Henchman, December 25th on Tubi. Free channel, kids. And it's got some name voice talent, and it's, you know, basically it sounds like it's, you know, just sort of a younger, hipper version of the Ballad of 24. So
just the way everything's popping up, I bet you if you go on any digital platform on Christmas Day, there's going to be something new.
Oh yeah, there's going to be all sorts of new things because what else are you doing? It's Christmas Day. We can't really go to movies. We're going to get all this stuff dropped.
Yeah.
And honestly, I think a lot of people are just going to sit and binge them all, you know? Mm-hmm. You know, behind the scenes Mandalorian, that sounds great, you know? I'm sure there'll be, you know, there's going to be a lot of stuff out there. We'll watch our Wonder Woman. Yep. We'll watch our Tubi Henchman movie. We'll see all the stuff there is to see and really enjoy it. And it's going to be a very merry COVID Christmas. You know?
And to tie it in, I believe they said Pedro Pascal was in Wonder Woman 1984.
Really?
Yes.
Well, good for Pedro Pascal getting the work.
I know.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I wonder if Disney's they're going to give him a Marvel role just to keep him in the, you know, be like, hey, stay here.
Well, you know, and that's the thing. I think they let people go. You know,
go
back and forth. I mean, heck, we got Gore the God Butcher coming in Thor, and it used to be Batman.
Oh, that's right. That's
yes.
Right. I just looked it up. You know who Pedro Pascal was playing in Wonder Woman 1984?
Who?
Max Lord.
Oh, yes, that's right. Oh, so he's the main villain.
Yeah.
So he won't be back for that series.
No.
Although, you know, it would be kind of cool is actually if they had it as Max Lord from the Justice League International. It actually is kind of a cool guy, and they actually have Booster Gold and Blue Beetle in it too. We were sort of building his own Justice League in 1984.
Yeah.
That would be an interesting story.
But yeah, I would bet money that he's going to show up in the, whether it's a small role or a big role, he's going to show up in the MCU somewhere.
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm sure Pedro or he'll just keep on showing up as the Mandalorian in Star Wars. I mean,
or both. I mean,
yeah. For what it's worth, or just like Ming-Na Wen, she's all over the place. She's a Disney princess. She's in Marvel. She's in Star Wars.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, after Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., they threw her the Mandalorian, and so maybe Pedro.
If she can do a Star Trek role, if she can do a Star Trek role and a DC role, she'll have the EGOT of it.
Oh yeah.
Actually, has she already been on Star Trek?
Oh,
I'm trying to think.
I don't know.
I have to look that up. We'll look it up later.
I mean, there's at least 2 ongoing series. Well, 3 if you count Lower Deck. Plus, there's at least 1 or 2 more coming. So.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, Star Trek is doing pretty well for itself.
Oh yeah.
And that's the thing. It's like you build a good sandbox, people are going to want to play in it. That's what we can say. You want to talk comics?
Sure, let's talk some comics.
Okay. Oh man, so many good comics this week. Okay, I'm going to start with one I really liked. Because I really felt this was a really good adaptation of a story we've seen many, many times. This is Taskmaster.
Ooh.
In what amounts to a Batman v Superman fight. And really does show how... Although what I like about this is that it's not even that, it's the kryptonite. It's, I have to use the kryptonite in such a way that Superman doesn't see it coming. Which I thought was always the problem with, I guess that is arguably always the problem with it, is like, there's so many like attempts to just, bombard Superman with kryptonite in just the most obvious ways, but
does Taskmaster actually have, what is that, Argonite or whatever?
Yeah, it's radioactive Argonite. Well, they had 1 piece of radioactive Argonite, but there's actually a secondary aspect to all this, which is that clearly Taskmaster is not surviving this fight because he's holding his own against Hyperion. It's clearly Hyperion just like, I don't want to have to turn you into soup. I don't know if I should be, happy that you just don't back down or what. I do like, and it's very interesting because they do call out the old, Cheese Coulson bit here with really going into that, who Nick Fury Jr. is and where he comes from, and playing into this idea that, Coulson likes his comic books, and that Nick isn't sure who this Coulson is since he came back. And it's very interesting the way that aspect of it plays out. And of course, what it is that Taskmaster has to learn the biometric signatures of these top spies so that he can unlock the MacGuffin. I don't even remember what the MacGuffin actually is in this. So, and we do see basically how Taskmaster does everything, and then when he is going to steal, as he says, if you're going to steal from the best, and he basically, he shoots one arrow, which Hyperion laserized. He shoots another one, which he dodges. Hyperion punches him again, and he just says, boom. He says, what's boom? He says, boom, meringue. And then the boomerang arrow comes back, which doesn't work like that. I'm sorry, but sure, why not? And then Taskmaster's getting all tough, like, yeah, you're only alive because I had someplace to be. Meanwhile, Nick Fury's like, you don't try to kill him, because first off, that's just going to have them all come after you. And second off, even if you did it, if you don't do it, he'll kill you right now because that crossed the line. Yeah, I love Taskmaster. It's a good book. I really highly recommend everyone pick it up.
Nice.
Do you have a book you want to talk?
Well, yeah, I pulled all of these Marvel books. Which one should we talk? Oh, did you read Iron Man #4?
Mm-hmm. Yes, I did. I don't know how I feel about the kiss falling into the bed thing. I don't know, man. I expect better of you, Patsy.
It seems too cliche, maybe, you know.
Yeah, it seems very cliche, and it's not that I'm opposed to it. I can work with it. It's like, okay. But beyond that, I am waiting to see who the B-list heroes are. Because the minute they say, I need people that are off the radar, and my first thought was Howard the Duck.
Oh, I thought you were going to say D-Man.
D-Man's a possibility. We could see D-Man in this. And that's always that thing. It's like who knows who. And that's the thing. It's like stuff like this. All you got to do is tell Howard the Duck to go tell, Spider-Man that, Korvac is back or what have you. You open up this real possibility for things in this. And
yeah, but how subtle was a talking duck though?
Well, but it's the Marvel Universe. Everyone knows they're there.
Yeah, true.
And what I kind of also think about in that is just this idea that Howard has his own qualities that are interesting to his character. Similar to Squirrel Girl, that whole protagonist armor that just sort of offsets the storyline in a very odd and unique way. But I'm also thinking this would be a great time for a character like Boulder to return. Because, if your power is unstoppable electricity, that's great, except if you're a completely grounded, immovable object, that's not going to have any effect on Boulder. He's just going to be able to walk right up to him and kick him in the nards. Because unlike Dynamic Man, I'm willing to wager that Korvac has nards. That's a deep dive both to Monster Squad and to the 11. Or was it the 12? No, it's called the 12. The 12. That Dynamic Man did not have nards because his creator, he was also an android man like the Human Torch, but he didn't burst into flames. But his creator was a weird guy and did not give him nards. So yeah, I would love to see that the big. Of course, obviously, it can't be that because Tony Stark is the hero. I don't know about the facial scarring on Patsy Walker, although they do point out that I'm sure someone can fix that for you. And she's like, I'm not even that upset about the facial scar. It's like,
Or is that going to get fixed by the end of the story? Because remember, back in the day, Korvac brought half the Avengers back from the dead.
Mm-hmm. Well, I find it interesting because it does seem to be this idea. Well, and that gets back to Fantastic Four. And the way powers work, because in this, what we have is, so he's going to try and use Tattoo. We have this idea that he is now in control of every electron on the planet, which is a weird statement to make. But, and I guess I can see where he's going, but it has shades of Secret Wars 2.
Yes.
When Dr. Doom tries to steal Galactus's and the Beyonders' power. But if we get into this, we see, so in Fantastic Four, we have basically, we've got all the refugees from all the universes that the Griever destroyed. They're all coming through. They reach out to Silver Surfer to say, can you find a planet that can take all of these remaining refugees from these other universes? And he says, sure thing, buddy. But they make the point when, what's his name? Franklin and, not Franklin, but Valeria and Bentley are talking.
Mm-hmm.
That they have the one atom. They found one Molecule Man of Molecule Man. But obviously, if you have one, they're all quantumly intertangled. They can pull them all back. So I get the feeling we're going to get our Molecule Man back at the end of this story. Great shout out again to Black Cat series, which we'll talk about next, because we have our our Iron Man armor given, the 4 Iron Man armor given to Franklin.
Yep.
And he pulls what our good friend Patsy did when she still had her Iron Man armor built, which is she uses as a decoy to have the Griever chase him around. And I'm sorry, they keep, they're so inconsistent with the Griever. Because I said, like the last time, that if she's an esoteric concept, why does she need a starship? Why does God need a starship, Phil?
I know.
So I don't think she's nearly as esoteric of a concept. I think she wants to be an esoteric concept. I think, like Doom, she wants to be a god. Like Korvac, she wants to be a god. But she is always a petty, false god.
Mm-hmm.
And we got Laserfist Ledges back in this, so that's cool. And
help them ferret out a spy, yeah.
Yes, and we also see that. And again, why does an esoteric concept need a spy? Why does God need a starship? If you don't know that line, kids, you need to get into your deep trek and learn how that is the line that Captain Kirk used to save the universe.
Well, obviously she's not omnipotent, or else she would have known Franklin wasn't in that armor.
Exactly. Which is why she's not an esoteric concept. She isn't the esoteric concept of destruction and death. She is an elder of the universe who pretends to be a god. She's like Odin, looking for worshippers, and that's what she's doing, and that's why she's going to get her hinder kicked by the next issue when the Molecule Man, an actual being, nigh omnipotent being, shows up.
Uh-huh.
So, you may catch him when he's kind of being prosaic, but, you break the man down to his basic molecules. He remembers he used to be a villain. But speaking of Black Cat.
Yeah, it's Black Cat #1.
Black Cat is back.
King and Black crossover, yeah.
And they do have Legacy. I love that. It's Legacy number 13, but it's the number 1. Hey, lucky number 13, kids.
I mean, I guess if it was that short of a run, it's like, oh yeah, hey guys, you can go back real quick and get the first 12. Come on.
Yeah, well, I get. Here's what I'm saying is, I think they just called it Black Cat 13. It would have been a bigger seller.
Oh yeah.
I think they missed their marketing opportunity there. But anyway, and it does seem, because they said they were canceling it, didn't they?
Well, I know they said she was going to come back for King and Black. I didn't know if it was going to be an ongoing or not. I thought it was maybe just going to be a mini series or a one shot. You know what? I think they just wanted a big #1 for King and Black. Someone's like, "Oh, Black Cat #1, King and Black." It's a #1 and King and Black.
But then again, like I said, but wouldn't it be better if it was Black Cat 13?
Yes, exactly. But I don't know.
And here she's going to be a toe cutter, as she says. She gives us her little daily lore, which is someone who steals from someone who already stole something. So the person who's trying to steal from some Shield Black site, she's going to steal from them. But then the invasion comes, yada yada yada,
yep. And
she's got to. And when Doctor Strange gets taken by the symbiotes, Cap says, you can do this. Basically, we need a thief. Or it doesn't even tell her what to do. It says you got to free him. Basically says you're a natural survivor. Which also, I love just the fact that Cap, I know you. I know every superhuman. What do you think? You think I don't remember everything I'm told? Spider-Man talks about you, Miss Hardy. And I mean, also, hey, Pete, you're just throwing around everybody's secret identity left and right here.
Well, too, I think Cap's the guy who sits around the Avengers Mansion studying the files, too.
Yeah, that's true, too. Oh, I love this guy. Have we met Dr. Steve before?
Trying to remember. I don't think so, unless he made like a real quick appearance in those first the first series, but...
Yeah, I mean, well, no. Oh, he would have been in some Venom series.
Oh yeah. I'm not sure because I've been in and out on Venom, so I'm not sure.
Yeah, so he must be. He might be. And from the way they talk about him, I'm guessing he's like a person you would know. That he's basically, he was the guy who did the work with Eddie Brock at Alchemex with the Venom symbiote.
Yeah,
and he clearly has lots of respect for Eddie Brock for some reason, which is also a great disconnect there. Where like, Felicia Hardy's like, no, Eddie Brock is not a hero. You're thinking of that other guy that wore Venom. Yeah, but so she's gonna go break out Doctor Strange because she's gonna steal Doctor Strange from Null.
Yeah.
Because clearly, and that's the thing, Null has Doctor Strange in like a little symbiote bubble, which tells you right there that he hasn't taken over Doctor Strange, which is weird because I think he hasn't at some point in the past. But anyway, whatever. We're gonna move. Oh no, that was in the Spider-Man cartoon. That was in the Spider-Man cartoon where they take over all the Avengers. But in this one, yeah, he's just in a bubble, so they're not taking control of him yet. So they're gonna bust him out. Do you want to talk King in Black Hulk?
Yeah, did you say? I mean, you got both issues, right? Because we got a King in Black Immortal Hulk, and we got a regular issue of Immortal Hulk.
Yes, yeah, and I liked King in Black, which is a perfectly silent issue. If you like silent issues, which I actually do like silent issues, that's nice. I think it really informs a lot of what we get in the Immortal Hulk.
Yes.
Thing fight, especially with the fact that it's the kid Hulk.
Mm-hmm.
And it is, and you see how skinny the Hulk is, and he is. It's like Banner, but a Hulk. It's so interesting, this little kid, and his difficulty and anger in the whole story. I really like that, but I liked King in Black Immortal Hulk. And actually I kind of feel. Okay, we got our Doctor. What's her name again?
And the Immortal Hulk issue.
Yeah, the Immortal Hulk. Yeah. I mean, there's not too much to say about. Although interesting thing in the King in Black tie-in is that the symbiotes were clearly eating the people now.
I guess maybe it's a Null thing, but
yeah. Well, I mean, that's always that thing. Is like the Venom symbiote actually wants to work with its hosts, but but Null says no. We just devour and take them. Blah, 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 we're evil.
But yeah, but in the King of Black, I do like, and I mean, we even get that in the Immortal Hulk 41 too. Is basically Joe taking care of the kids since Banner's gone. Yeah,
and that is neat, and that's sort of what we get here, where we have basically. And it's sad because the Thing doesn't realize what's going on. Although he should right away. The Thing isn't that dumb. He should know something's wrong with the Hulk.
Mm-hmm.
He should know that, whatever's going on, it's not right.
But do you think Ben has some Hulk PTSD too? Because I mean, who's taking more shots from the Hulk than Ben?
Oh yeah, no, he does, and that's the thing. And there's even this aspect of the idea that inside of himself, there's also that part of that is, I've always said, the thing about Ben Grimm is that he doesn't want to stop being the Thing, because he doesn't want to give up the power. He doesn't want to give up the strength of it, and that's also his darker side. And then when you have Joe come out in the Banner body and say he's a kid, you're beating on a kid, and Ben realizing that, oh yeah, he's a kid, that it is the childlike Hulk, and that this isn't what I'm looking for, and and I love, he says, so you're one of the smart Hulks, and I like how Joe Fixit doesn't want to be this one. Joe Fixit is kind of the Ben Grimm of Hulks. Which makes sense why they should be actually good friends when you think about it.
And I don't think he ever comes out and says, "Oh yeah, hey Grimm, it's me, Joe Fixit," because Ben knows Joe Fixit. Yeah,
but it's and then there's a nice thing here with Ben talking about the story of Job, and I don't know, I really like it, but also just this idea that they have to get all of Banner's friends together, and of course they're getting. Which is just weird in its own right. What they get, the leader's away. We get Rick Jones back. Crazy, stretchy Rick Jones, but we'll see where that goes. Immortal Hulk is really doing well. It's got good stories to tell, and I really like it.
But I just love Ben with Joe. Because he's like, oh, that food smells good. You can smell anything through that Serpico. Hey, I'm stuck in Banner's body. I might as well make it look like in the way I want.
Yes, I guess he's talking about the mustache. Don't shame the mustache just because you can't grow one, Ben. Oh gosh. Let's see here. We got Savage Avengers, Ms. Marvel, Captain America, and then my indie book. Or do you have one you want to talk?
No. They threw out one of those because I didn't.
Captain America.
Yes.
We get sort of how Peggy's back. And I like how they actually explain it, which is that, when Lucan came back, when What's-Her-Name was talking to Rasputin, and Rasputin says, no, you can bring your husband back, but just know they don't come back alone.
Yeah.
And immediately I was thinking, oh, he means the Red Skull's going to come back too. That what he actually meant is that if you bring Lucan back, it's going to bring back a counterweight to him, which is Peggy Carter.
Everything has a price.
Which is great. Then we get the whole thing with, Crossbones torturing General Ross because they know if they kill him, because everybody else knows about the Immortal Hulk, but apparently Crossbones hasn't yet.
Not the sharpest thinker.
No, Rumlow. This is why you get dead a lot. Holy Hannah! I didn't even notice that the first time. Did you notice that?
What? The mustache?
Hulk stash!
Yeah.
Hulk stash, yes. So that's great. And we also get just,
I mean, I guess you could say every time they die, they can kind of like reboot their pattern.
Yeah, well, but I like the idea. First of all, I always like the idea that he should have his mustache.
I mean,
because it is an iconic.
Every time anyone turns into a Hulk, they keep the hair on their head. Why not?
Sometimes it does change. People have pointed it out to me.
It does change, but they
remember when Hulk used to have a bowl cut?
That's true, but I mean, he still keeps hair, though.
Yeah, but there are changes to it from time to time. It's not always the same. There was once, in fact, when Banner had a beard and the Hulk didn't. So they're not wrong. Well, yes, Tristan, you should not be mean to someone because you don't know what's happening in their life. Most people don't ever learn that lesson, Tristan. I'm glad that you know that already.
Oh my God! But he called Ross a patriot on that last panel. Oh my God! Is the Red Hulk gonna be wearing blue and white pants? Oh
no,
it's gonna be like Captain Hulk.
No, but I would love to see him in like a full-on general's uniform. He's General Hulk.
Oh my God, can you imagine that? I outrank you, Banner.
Although, again, he's not telling Cap he outranks him.
Oh, that's true.
And technically, Ross is a civilian at this point. He's retired from the military.
Wow, yeah.
He is ex-General Ross. He's no longer an Air Force general.
He's been ex-general before.
Yes. Savage Avengers came out this week.
Yep.
We are slowly whittling away at Null. Last week we took out his ability to, continue to devour Shemagorath. Then we got all the fights between the dragons and everybody. And I like how they solve it, which is literally just, rather than necessarily slaying the dragon, they just all go to limbo.
Yeah, imagine it's like you can rest here for as long as you want.
Yeah, look, they'll think, yeah, you'll come get me in like 100 years, right? And he's like, wait, what? No. But they give him the extra eye, and I like what happens with Conan in this, because they say we'll give you the eye because you're the one that has to do the killing blow to Shemagorath, not Shemagorath, to Kulan Gat.
The eye of power, yeah.
Yeah, and he's like, no. And then he goes into this really nice thing about Crom. And I love the Crom story we get with this, which is that, that Crom is basically, which ties nicely to Job. It's like Crom is the god who's waiting to see how strong you can be. And it feels like you're now carrying some extra strength. So, well, I must send extra suffering. Since you're so strong now, you must have that tested against some extra suffering. So, they lock it up. But and then I love this. I love the cameo scene in the bar with no name.
Oh yeah, who's under one of Conan's arms? Charlie Esser.
The Deadly Nighthawk. She is great. She's in her old Deadly Nightshade outfit. She's a fashion icon. Actually, I like that. It's her, and I believe her name is Neko.
Or Necro. Yeah.
Yeah, these are all 1980s handbook to the Marvel Universe characters that if you were a young man in the 1980s, these are all characters you absolutely recognize from the handbook. You do, of course, have Ringmaster. You have Ape Man, or no, Man Ape, I believe his name is.
I think
he's the gangster with the body of a gorilla. There's Angar the Screamer.
I know.
Tatterdemalion.
Yeah.
One of my favorite Spider-Man villains. Tatterdemalion. And he doesn't even have any superpowers. He's just a good dancer. That's literally his superpower. He's like, what if Fred Astaire became a supervillain and was a communist? So he kind of fits into the world right now perfectly. Broadway's closed. He's going to say, I'm going to wrap myself in a scarf and beat up people. Fighting for the man. So yeah, it is, or fighting against the man. It is really great. And best part about this, what's Conan wearing in that final scene?
Is that a trench coat?
It's a jacket.
Yeah.
It's modern clothing. Because Conan shouldn't always be naked.
Well, I mean, he's still wearing his loincloth and everything. He's just wearing
he's wearing his loincloth, but he's going to put on a jacket. It's cold outside, man. It's New York City in December.
Again, Marvel in the 90s had a lot of people wore jackets back,
Yes, it's exactly.
Especially in Avengers.
Want to toss out one more?
Sure.
Because I have Ms. Marvel and I have We Only Find Them When They're Dead.
Do whichever one you want. You're the one who has to do another podcast. So.
Yeah, well, I got 6 minutes, and Maz hasn't even texted me yet. So, quick on Ms. Marvel. As you know, she's being chased by Dum Dum Dugan. They don't reference that he's an LMD in this.
Huh.
Because they actually have him use a sort of like an electricity weapon against her.
Mm-hmm.
Now, maybe it's that he doesn't want his LMD to ever have that super strength LMD stuff. But it's interesting because we know that he's actually in a jar somewhere running his LMD. But, yeah, it's interesting. But anyway, Cradle's chasing him down. They get to where, because there's a bunch of people that have gone missing in Jersey City. They track them down to the Rubicon Corporation, which is an evil corporation. Monopoly is the guy who runs it is a mutant named Monopoly who can put himself in you to control you. Josh, her old friend turned supervillain, has gotten possessed by him and turned into a monster. She does do that whole "I know you're in there somewhere" thing with him. He does defeat it. And then basically Dum Dum and Kamala actually reach a detente and realize that it's not worth, Dum Dum realizes, I can't be a part of Cradle anymore. This is not cool. I see you kids are doing good work, and it's not really our place to tell you what to do. So he backs off on that. He says he's not going to do it anymore. He finds out that her friend... I forget her name off the top. Zoe is the one who ratted her out, but doesn't out her secret identity, which I think is actually kind of cool. She's like, no, I'm not going to out your secret identity, but you have to understand how scary it is for those of us without superpowers when all of your superpowered shenanigans comes home and nearly kills us. which is, you know, that's the whole complexity for this. And then we see out in space her symbiotic supersuit. It's coming back.
Mm.
The Kree Storm something. Storm Ranger suit is coming back, which is interesting, and I wonder if that might tie into King in Black, because she's kind of like that whole nanotech symbiote. So that's cool.
Maybe.
You never know, because you remember when that first shows up, they say out of the chaos a costume, and it was that Secret Wars 2 thing. Final book, of course, is We Only Find Them When They're Dead by the great Al Ewing and Simon D. Mayo. Man, I just love the art in this. It's beautiful to look at. You know, the story, what's going on with the story is a little complex, but basically, you know, they found an ancient god and the captain's kind of suicidal. The ranger is out to kill him, but she wants to kill him when she's looking at him, and if he doesn't show her his face, he can't. He goes and rescues this girl that's in her crew, but who died. As they're approaching the god, because they're in the orbit of the living god, the first celestial being that they met, the captain's crew decides when the ranger just turns away from them to go attack the captain. They take their autopsy ship into battle because, you know, it doesn't have weapons, but it does have that laser knife, and they cut open the ship, but they also cut the god, which makes the captain mad. He's like, no, now it's all for nothing. And it ends with the captain facing off against the ranger, a little last stand. I don't know how many issues this whole series is, but
what issue number? What issue is that?
This is issue 4.
Okay.
So next issue is issue 5, and we'll see how this all wraps up. But yeah, beautiful artwork, a really neat, complex story about people fighting their own worst and best interests. So we'll see where it goes from there. But yeah, I loved it. It's, you know, this is such a good week for books. You know, I don't think I read a bad book in any of them.
No, it was a pretty good week, and like, I don't know about you, but like, I think this might be the biggest week I've had since March. So.
Oh yeah.
So I guess the industry's, I think we're back to the levels we were, you know, pre-COVID.
Yeah, 8 books, man. That is way more than my usual 5. But that's okay because they were all worth it. You know, there wasn't a one in the. And I'm also mad because I think they were out of Iron Man when I got there too. So it's like.
Well, and plus too, I wonder if maybe like this week was so packed because the next 2 weeks, you know, the week of Christmas and the week of New Year's, if they're going to be smaller weeks, so they like decided to pack more this week.
Anything's possible, or they'll just have more coming out. I mean, we don't know. That's the thing. And in fact, they kind of called it out in Black Cat, where they say, "Yeah, oh yeah, you know, it took a pandemic to stop us, but we're back." You know,
yep.
And I do feel that is where we're at now in the comic books industry. Which we're back. The stores are open. People are buying books because you can socially distance while you're buying comic books. It's not hard. We usually social distance anyway.
True.
You know, put on your mask and buy your books. It'll be fine. And so, yeah, I really liked it. It was an excellent week for books, and you know, and so much content's coming out as we're coming into the end of the year. It feels like things are getting better. I don't know, man.
Yeah, I mean,
at least the art's getting better. So.
I mean, oh yeah. I mean, everything. I think, except for going to a movie theater. I think, yeah, entertainment.
Yeah. Well, you know, we'll get to the movie theaters eventually. Yeah. As I say, you know, even if AMC goes out of business or first of all, it won't go out of business. It'll go bankrupt. It'll restructure, and it'll be back in 6 months, and then we'll go. You know, and that'll be when it can go back to going to the movies. You know, it'll be fine.
Yeah. Anything you can do at home, entertainment's back. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I think people are going to want to go to the movies once they can go to the movies safely.
yeah.
That's the thing. It's like not like anyone didn't want to go to movies.
Oh, people are going to want to go anywhere and everywhere once they can.
Yeah. Oh, that is one other bit of news that we get, which is we got recently, which is that some studios are saying that since Warner Brothers is doing same day release all 2021, that they basically are only going to charge like $5 a movie.
Yeah, they're going to cut prices on the Warner movies.
Which I actually think is a good move because, as I said, man, when I was a young man, just going to the dollar show was great.
Oh, yeah.
And the fact of the matter is that if you could suddenly start going to the dollar show on a regular basis, it is going to be awesome. It is going to be awesome. And if, you're seeing first run movies for $5, that is well worth the price of admission, literally.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, okay. So, Phil, did you hear me okay this week?
Kind of, sort of, yeah.
So, Phil, I keep on telling you, you got to go down to that tweakedaudio.com, use the coupon code Southgate, get yourself some high-quality headphones for once, so you can really hear what's going on.
Maybe someone would buy me some for Christmas. That would be a great Christmas gift.
Well, Christmas gifts, that's the thing. It's like, by the time this airs, it's probably almost Christmas. But remember, kids, there are 12 days of Christmas. So you can always tell your girlfriend, wife, or kids, or husband, or boyfriend, or kids, or cousins, or whatever. It's like, well, no, see, this year I'm practicing the 12 days of Christmas. And so your gift will be coming on Three Kings Day, which is traditionally when gifts are supposed to be given. And if you'd like to do that, use that coupon code Southgate over at Tweaked Audio or at Hunt a Killer.
Yes.
Where you can send your loved ones essentially an escape room to their house. Lots of clues, lots of weird things in that package to help you solve a cold case. Because what says Christmas more than murder?
Hey, everyone's supposed to be staying inside. Buy the family a game to play. Come on.
Mm-hmm. So that's good. If you're still stuck for gifts, go check out our gift guide. We actually have a gift guide for the entire Capes and Lunatics family. And you can go from there over to the entire Southgate Media Group family. They've all got gift guides. Here's what you should give people. One of the things that is certainly on there is, of course, Pod Life, the book written by folks here at the Southgate Media Group family about why we podcast and how we podcast and what's so fun about podcasting. So you may want to check that out, too. That could be fun. And if you do want to do that, go down to our show notes, click on the Amazon link so you can go to Amazon.com where you can buy pretty much anything you want, including, gifts for my wife, gifts for my kids. It's great. They're all there. My new elliptical finally showed up, and I have it now.
Ooh, nice.
Yes, it got delivered to the next building over, but we found it. It's all good.
Very good.
Anyway, but go to Amazon, buy what you want, use our link in the show notes. Doesn't cost you anything, helps us out. And then finally, I think that's it. Yeah, that's all of our endorsements. So, Phil, if someone would like to talk to you about all of our crass commercialization and why don't we do it for the love anymore, how can they write to you to complain?
You can talk to us about anything and everything, capesandlunatics@gmail.com or the voicemail 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. And, of course, you can find links to everything we do, social media, YouTube, all of it, at Linktree, linktr.ee/capesandlunatics.
And, of course, you can always write to me in the old-fashioned email way the way our Moz and Paz once did at superconnectivityblog@gmail.com. That's superconnectivityblog, all one word, at gmail.com. And, of course, follow me on the Twitter as I live tweet the last season of DuckTales. Woohoo! Haven't last couple weeks, but that's because there hasn't been a new episode the last couple of weeks. I'm not going to say it's because I forgot to. But also, I'm going to say that there were not actual new episodes to live tweet, so don't at me. But if you would like to at me, that's at Charlie Esser, CharlieSSER. Look for the two E's in the middle.
For quality. Bing!
Thank you, Maz. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you once again for listening to another episode with all the Super Connections. Please super connect with us again next week. Good night.
Good night.
Under an hour, Phil.
Woo! Hey, like I said, man, you're the one with another podcast. I know what Little Hellfire feels like now. What in the mouth?
Oh, man.
Yes, stay tuned every Friday for Full Stream Ahead if you want more Mandalorian talk.
Oh, yeah. We're getting there. That's what comes up next. Me and Maz take on the man.